Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It has been a minute since I've even touched my camera because I've been gone for the last week. And then before that, I just was trying to catch up on stuff so that way I could prepare to leave for the week. So it's probably been almost 2 weeks since I've touched my camera and talked to you guys because those last two videos were pre-recorded, obviously. So yeah, we got some stuff to do today, but this video is kind of be more dedicated to the S2000. Where I do have something for the S2000 in this video, something I want to do first is I want to address my steering wheel situation. So as you guys remember, when I first got this quick release setup, I ended up going with OMP because it was all my local shop had, and I love how it looks still. But my issue is that the horn button on it's like a, I don't even know what style horn button you would call this. So basically, no matter what I do, the button just does not stay in there. It's like this little spring clip right here just does not do its job. For the life of me, I cannot get this thing to function properly. For the longest time, up until this morning, I've had just electrical tape wrapped around it, and it helped, but on bumpy roads, it would fall out, and if it got too cold, it would fall, and if it was too hot, it would fall out. So I want to swap out the wheel. But I don't really have the extra funds at the moment to go and buy just a new steering wheel just for the lawsy daisies. I'm not balling like that yet. So I do have the steering wheel from the Integra, the Momo Monte Carlo. I love this wheel. I've had this wheel for a couple of years now. And the Integra really doesn't get driven much, as you guys know at this point. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal the wheel out of here. So yes, it is both NRG quick release setups, but this is like a 10th anniversary version 1 type thing, and the one that's in the S is like a newer, was it version 2? So it fits, it clicks on and everything. It just has a little bit of slop to it because I think the ball bearings are just a little bit worn out. So just to keep it safe and simple, I'm just going to swap over the steering wheel itself because this one has a flush mount horn. And otherwise, they're both fantastic steering wheels. Like, they're both super comfortable. I personally like the Momo a little bit better than the whatever, I don't even know what the other one is. I already forgot. But yeah, this one is just a hair more comfortable. I like the very minimal slight dish to it, whereas the other one's basically completely flat. So I'm going to do, just swap these over really quick. Just 6 nuts each wheel. 6 bolts each wheel. Nothing crazy. If any of you guys care to know where I was the last week, I went out to Wisconsin. I didn't make a video on it because this one was just a trip for a friend's wedding, and that's pretty much it. Simple, fun. I don't know if any of you guys are in that area, but we went up to the Dells, did some water parking, did a bunch of skating, which I got clips on my phone, so if you want to go see some of those, go check out my Instagram, which should have floated across the screen by now. And yeah, nothing crazy. Just went out for a friend's wedding. Had some fun. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, this style horn just sandwiches the backside there. A little bit easier to work with, personally. How are you guys doing now? I don't really get to talk to that much of you. A lot of you guys hit me up in the DMs on Instagram and stuff, and interact with me quite a bit, and I respond to pretty much every single person. So yeah, how are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments down below, because you know, life is definitely challenging for all of us right now. Gas prices, freaking jobs, and all the other crap going on, as we all clearly know. But, yeah. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys are doing. Because I'm doing alright, you know? I mean, you could always have more money, but trying to take things day by day, step by step, and trying to be more appreciative of everything I've got going on already. Because it's, you get so caught up in the moment, in the day by day, even of just trying to push on, get through the days, and you have to, sometimes you got to take a step back, and I see that. I took a step back recently, and I with some friends and stuff, and realized like I've come quite a far way this last year and a half, and thanks to you guys especially for continuing to support the channel, and for those of you who have purchased any of my products, or any of you locals who have come by to get some work done for me, like from me. Incredible feeling. Like, I've learned so much, and I've come pretty darn far, and I'm excited to see where the next year takes me and us as a channel with you guys. So yeah, hopefully you guys are doing pretty good too. I mean, we all have our issues, but hopefully you guys are good. Alright, last screw here, come on. if you guys are ever using the hardware that comes like, I guess, with the steering wheels, usually, like especially the NRD wheels, it's usually pretty trashy. So if you guys don't already do this, hit your local hardware store and just get some like stainless steel hardware like this. It's still the same stuff, it's just much higher quality, because the NRG crap always strips out. I've been using this stuff in both my cars for a couple years now, and it never strips out. So, yep, here's the old wheel, well, new old wheel, the OMP, focus you up there. So this is OMP, obviously from this car. Great steering wheel, just don't like the horn button. And the S2000 does have a functioning horn, so I'd like to keep it that way, whereas the Integra does not, because I am a dummy and I don't know how to wire it up and I lost the horns and it's gone. Let's put this back together though. So, horn button, like I said, it's already wired up, so this is all good. I can just hook this up like normal. Come on man, work with me. So I don't know if it matters if these go a certain way, so we're just gonna plug them in and find out. Test it. Still works. We're good. Perfecto. Feels great. Probably should detail the steering wheel a little bit since it is a couple years old. I mean, it's got some oil hand marks on it, but whatever. Different time. Pardon me. Let me get out of the car here. I'm going to go throw the other wheel in on the DA, and we will show you guys what we got for the S2000 next. Alright, this one's all put together for the Integra, minus the horn button because it sucks. But I got another thing for the S that I forgot about besides the other thing I just told you about. So if any of you guys are pretty familiar with the S2000 engine bay, or you like S2000s, you've studied them before, whatever, let me know what you see missing here. So try and get an overhead shot of the engine bay right here. Lighting is looking pretty good. So right off the bat, tell me what you think is missing. Time's up. So if you guessed the heat shield up here going around the battery and the AC line, then you would be correct. So I finally sourced one. Some people take them off, and I'm not entirely sure why. Makes no sense to me. It is a pretty critical part of heat management on these cars, and when people get rid of them, it's just stupid. But then trying to find them is ridiculously expensive for no reason at all, just like most S2000 parts. But I finally found the OEM heat shield. Could I have made one? More than likely. It's pretty decently simple-ish design to try and bend up. But I didn't want to make one because this is something I wanted OEM. Like, it's whatever. I have my reasons. So finally found one. Found a guy on the S2000 page. I think his parts page is like Pandaroo Performance or something like that. Is what the LLC thing came to be when I sent the money. 55 bucks shipped. Everybody on eBay wanted minimum 160 for rusty ones without shipping. So I'm stoked. It only holds in with a few 10mm bolts along the frame rail, but it's, like I said, a critical part of heat management, and I'm stoked to have finally found one. So I'm gonna slap this on really quick. Finally got this thing put in. Fought with that back left bolt what feels like forever, but yeah, it's in. So nothing super fancy. I mean, it's just OEM shielding. Looks good though. So basically, like I said before, the main idea is to help keep the heat from the header off the battery, which is obviously bad, and then off the AC lines, so the AC lines don't heat soak. And then it helps from prematurely wearing out some of the plastics over here, and you know, like heating up the heater hoses a little too much over time. You know, just simple. I don't have to explain that to you guys. You guys understand it. But yeah, so this thing's all good. Now we can get into the final piece for this car for this video. Alright, so the final part that I'm going to be putting on this car today is something that I really wish that I had a few months back when I got my little fender bender in the S2000. So if you guys watched the videos, or the video about that and the videos after that and stuff, you knew just how tedious, how stressful it was, and how stressful it is for anybody. So something that comes in really, really handy nowadays, which I wish I had then, would be a dash cam. So for obvious reasons, a dash cam would have came in handy, because then I could have used that dash cam to my defense, because I was at fault for my little fender bender. Now, again, if you go back, it wasn't that severe. I ended up getting the brunt of the damage, mostly because the body shop screwed up the damage that was already there and made it worse. But I could have had everything pretty much paid for, because if I had a dash cam, the truck that cut me off that caused me to tap into this other car and would have caused the other accident that was almost next to me, he would have been held liable, and I would have had the proof. So basically what I have here is the dash cam. This is not a clip-on style, this is like a full HD. I think this one does like 2K or 4K front. I think it does full HD rear, and it has miscellaneous attachments. But AZ Dome actually hit me up, and if you guys would like to get one of your own, these guys do sell on Amazon, which if you would like to get one of these, I do have the Amazon affiliate links, which I will have in the description, or on this video I will have it pinned as the top comment. But we are going to be unboxing this. I'm going to be going over it really quick with you, and we're going to be installing it, because I should have definitely had this already, and I don't know why I don't, because my dad, he's always had dash cams in all of his cars. I know plenty of people with dash cams in their cars, and it's just a good insurance. And I don't know about you guys, but I personally kind of like watching those dash cam videos on YouTube. So let's get this thing cracked open, eh? So let's just start by opening up this sleeve. So this is their M550 model, as you can read right there. So this is their nicer one. They do have 3 separate models, but I mean, when you're getting stuff, you want to get the best one, right? Let's push this sleeve off, and let's get this box opened up here. Oof, that's pleasing. I'll zoom you guys out a little bit there. So right off the bat, we'll go with the wrapper here. This is the dash cam itself, so you can see very small, nice and compact, and it even has little instructions here. But yeah, biggest thing is it is nice and compact. So and this thing's also magnetic. Don't know if it's supposed to be or whatever. Let's open this top portion up, and what we have in here would be all the cables. Now they do give you plenty of room, so for me, having such a small car, being the S2000, I'm gonna have a little bit of cable management to take care of, but nothing that I can't figure it out. So I believe this would be your front facing camera. So this does have the little port here on the side. So in this case, if you want front and rear facing camera, so you can have one on yourself, then you would plug it in just like that, and that will let you put the camera on yourself. Focus you up on that. Yeah, pretty darn neat. Let's finish unboxing this now. I do apologize for being kind of awkward. I never know what to say with these types of things. So here is the car charger cable, if you want to just have this as a quick plug-in. I personally am probably just going to hardwire this to my fuse box, so I'm going to probably do an add a circuit. For now, I don't really use the phone charger that much, like my phone charger in my car, because I mean, I don't, unless it's road trips, I don't really use it. So for now, I think just for video sake, I'm going to just use this this adapter, but you can hardwire this to your fuse box. You would just basically take the power cable, which I believe is in this bag, and then you would just kind of snip the end off. You would run that to a add a circuit, and then you would just find a fuse slot that is usable for you, ideally a switch 12 volts, that way it's not on 24/7, and add in there. So in the box left, we still have these. These look to be like small cable management ties. So these are like little sticky, double-sided sticky tape things, but they have like little cable clips on there. I don't know if you can kind of see that through the bag, which is kind of nice, because that means you don't have to drill anything. You can just kind of stick these wherever you want and tie your cables out of the way. For me, like I said, cable management in the S, so I'm probably going to run them through the A-pillar and such. So cables, cables, cables. This looks like another adapter, so if I ever, you know, this one gets too sun dried or whatever, I can pull it off as a spare. We have our owner's manual, and it looks like screen protector. Yeah, comes with a couple screen protectors. So that is basically everything that you get inside of this, the AZ Dome M550 front and rear facing dash cam. Let's go install it. I almost forgot, they give you a 64 gigabyte SD card. Awesome. my apologies, this bag had the rear facing camera on here. So this is the camera that you would run to the back of your car, so you can have a camera for behind you. And then again, you do have the front facing, and then you do have the main dash cam on its own. So now that that's all cleared up, let's go slap this bad boy in. But first, I'm gonna read the instructions because I'm new here. I suppose the most critical thing is placement. So thankfully this thing is much smaller than I actually anticipated. So you do have this sticky pad here. My only concern is because I am in Arizona. I'm kind of worried that this thing isn't going to stick too well in the summer, because I mean, normally, obviously, when I'm home, I'm parked under this. I'm at work, there's no covered parking, so the windshield gets really cooking, and there's nowhere else for me to really mount this on this car, so I kind of just got to put it here on the windshield and, you know, hope for the best. So I'm going to just do that. They do send you one extra of these things if needed. I'm sure you can probably buy them separately. So yeah, placement I think is going to be more or less right here on the middle of the windshield, probably somewhere about there. And I can already tell that takes up like no room on your screen here. Like it doesn't block your vision. So I'm going to stick this up here and I guess probably go from there. So I kind of jumped the gun here. I went ahead and plugged it in already just because I kind of wanted to see my angle at where I put it on the windshield. Should have done that to begin with, so don't take after me. I do notice that their car charger port here has a USB port for charging your phone. So that's awesome. So I don't actually end up having to throw away this piece. So I may not even end up hardwiring it. Personally, it's a tiny bit on the bulky side for a little car like this. So I still may end up hardwiring it in the future. But nonetheless, it works. Perfect. So setup was super easy. I just plugged it in and it did its thing. I just set up the date and time really quick. Has all the little buttons here for up and down and OK. Tells you on the little screensaver here. So yeah, kind of just slide this back into position. And yeah, it's a nice wide angle. So this points a little bit more to the right than I'd like. I may try and scrape this off and readjust it. But nonetheless, the camera looks to be in a good spot. So that is good. Now pretty much all that's left is cable management. So by attaching the front facing camera, you just got to take this little rubber cover off here, plug it in, and then there's a port on the other side here where you can plug in your rear mounting camera, which I do intend to use because I think that'll be good for some canyon stuff and just safety stuff in general if I do get into some sort of rear end collision. So let's pray that never happens, but I would like to install it nonetheless. Comes with a little L bracket, as you can kind of see right here. It's got a little tiny bracket on it right there that just screws onto the license plate. So that's perfect. They made this super simple, that's for sure. Everything's set up for the front. It's all tucked up super nice. You can't even see it anywhere. So right now I'm working on doing the rear. And again, this isn't totally necessary. I just figure they sent it and it's included with the kit. So I kind of want to use it because you never know. Like being a convertible, top down or tops down most of the time on this. So the front facing camera may help me in this case, but you never know. So I'm just hooking it up because it's easy. It's all plug and play. It's just a matter of me getting it where I want it to go. So in this case, I modified the bracket just a little bit. I just drilled it out a little bit because mine is not screws. There's no good spot for me to screw into the bumper. So I just poked a little hole. You can't see it, but where your license plate light is up here, there's a little grommet somewhere on yours. Mine is directly behind it. That goes into the trunk. So I just poked a little hole with the screwdriver so I can feed the wire feed through there, because this comes apart like that. So if you ever take your bumper off, you don't have to unwire everything. So that's what I'm doing right now. And this wire is going to then come out somewhere right up top here. And then you got plenty of wire loom. So I'm gonna just hide it behind all the trunk stuff, run it in here where my amp is, and run that back into where the cab is. And then again, same spot, right up the door sill, up the A-pillar, tuck it behind the plastic, and right into the camera. Got it all finished up back here. Nice seamless install. These are my amp, or my sub cables. Don't have a sub yet, so ignore those. But otherwise, the only little bit that I can really tuck is just this little spot right there, because it just doesn't want to go. But yeah, so everything is all cleaned up. Well, I still got a vacuum because I kicked around a lot of dirt and then stomping around out here. It's kind of dirty. So, moment of truth, I suppose. Let's see if it works. But let me just show you guys. There we go. So that's the only bit of cables that you see. It's just right there, which is not bad at all. I'm probably going to take a zip tie and tie those together, clean them up just a little bit. But let's turn this thing on, make sure it all works. All right, so key in, ignition on. I don't know why you guys can't see it on the camera. It's definitely on. Maybe it's a privacy screen. I think that's what it is. You can kind of see it. Maybe it's just my freaking lens. I don't know. There we go. I have a neutral density filter on. Yeah, whatever. Now you guys can see it. So it's on, it's working. And it's really hard to film this without a more zoomed lens. So